In this lesson, we're going to look at underlining important clues in word problems to identify important information. That is going to help us understand what we know and what we need to know. Looking at this word problem, Mrs. Salvador students are going on a field trip to the Science Museum, and they are taking buses. Each bus costs $800 and seats 25 students. How many buses do they need if 67 students and 14 chaperones are attending the field trip? So the question here is, how many buses do they need? That's the information that I need to find out. So I have some important details that can help me identify that information. Well, we know that each bus seats 25 students. We have 67 students and 14 chaperones attending. So we can kind of assume that 14 chaperones are probably going to take up the same amount of space as students. So we can add those together to figure out how many people we need to seat and how many buses we need to order. Now we have an extra piece of information here. We have each bus costs $800. So that's what we can refer to as an extra detail, an unnecessary piece of information, because the question doesn't ask us how much it costs. So sometimes word problems have extra information in there, and really it's there to help determine which students know what to eliminate and which students don't. So we can exclude that piece of information. So first step that we're going to do to solve this problem is add up how many people are going. So we have 67 students and 14 chaperones. So when we add them together, 7 plus 4 is 13, 1 plus 6 plus 1 is 8. So we have 83 people. We know each bus seats 25, and we have to divide 83 by 25 in order to determine how many buses we need. So 25 can go into 83 3 times. 3 times 25 is 75. 3/4 is 75 cents. We have to do a little borrowing. 13 minus 8 is 8. So we have a remainder of 8. Now, when we think about this problem again, we can't really treat it as a decimal problem because we can't order half of a bus or 3/10 of a bus, or in this case, 3 32/100 of a bus is what we're going to get. So we really need to look at the problem critically. How many buses do they need? Well, if I had 3 buses, there would be 8 people left out. So I have to order 4 buses. Again, underlining important information really helps you determine what's important, what do I need to know, and what's the question. So anytime you see numbers, those are usually details that you want to direct your eye to in word problems. The most important detail you want to look at in any word problems is, what is the question? How many buses do they need? And that way you can determine what information is important and the steps you need in order to complete the word problem successfully.